Hello, I'm going to show you how to format a Word document in MLA. So we're not looking at the details of in-text citations here or works cited entries, just how the paper is laid out. And if I'm working from a blank document, I like to go in here and remove the paragraph after spacing and make it double space. This is not real important. This is more important for MLA is that everything be double spaced. If you've already got writing, you can use Control or Command A or click and drag to highlight everything and then change everything you already wrote to double space. And do that evenly from the top down. And then in the header, if you double click, you can insert page number, top of page, and then select right. Don't type the number 1 because every page will be page 1 then. You'll need to insert that function. And then type your name in and put a space between. That's your last name. And click out here. And that's not my last name or your last name. Let's just pretend Bob Dylan is in the class. And then your professor's name, that's not my name either. I don't know who that is. Lisa Cortez, Professor Lisa Cortez, I guess. Well, I don't know who that might be. Probably is one, but I don't have that intention. And then the class name or code and your section number. So I teach something called Writing 150, and we'll pretend it's section 23. And then the day, month, and year spelled out. And there's no commas here. Some date formats call for a comma, this one does not. So it's just the day, the month spelled out in the year. MLA sometimes calls for months to be abbreviated, but here they spell it out. And then you go back to center for the title. And not a very scintillating title, but your title's centered. And then tab. And then we're not going for an A here. We just want to make sure it's an MLA format. So that's paragraph. And then whenever you have a new paragraph, use tab. Don't put 5 spaces or something like that. That won't be a ½ inch. You just use the tab key. It's usually defaults to ½ inch, so you don't have to do anything. And so there's ½ inch, so you can see it's at a ½ inch. You just hit the tab key. Now we could have many pages, but at the end, we want to put a works cited page, and that should start at the top of a new page. So you could hit enter, 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 enter until you go to a new page and put your works cited there. But then if you add or subtract it from the paper, then your works cited will move up and down with that. It could end up halfway down a page or something like that. So you'll actually want to go to Insert, Page Break, and that'll put you at the top of a page. Or it's only a 2-page paper, but let's, you might be into 6 or 7 or something like that. And then you want to center that just like if it were a title. That didn't work out right. I must have hit tab. So I want to center it. That looks better. And there's no underline or bolding. It's just capital W and a capital C. And then you'll left justify here. And don't tab. You just put your works cited entries. And then this is the trickiest part. You'll want to put these in hanging indents, which is the opposite of a normal paragraph. There are different ways of doing that. You can do them individually or all at once. And one way is to use, if you're on a PC, Control T may work. That might bring up a tab or do something weird, depends. But on a lot of software, Control T, or on an Apple, Command T may do it for you. And that's the easy, simple way to do it. That might not work. There are 2 other ways to do that. One is to use the ruler. So if you highlight one and then click over to a ½ inch with that little box and then go up to the top caret and drag it back to 0. And you could do that with more than one at once. I'll do that with the other way to do it. Highlight it all, and then paragraph special hanging, and it'll do it. And I did it with, you could use the ruler to do more than one at once too. Now the thing is, sometimes what will happen, let's say you already did it manually by hitting enter to break the line and then tab. Problem with that is if you come in to edit, it'll mess it all up. As well, if you remove the tab but not the invisible enter, the Control T or those other methods will not work either. I just, you know, that won't work. So if you're backtracking, you need to get rid of that invisible enter for it to work. Then it will work. So if you've already done it manually, remove, and you want to do it properly, you can remove the tabs and the invisible enters, and then if you use one of those other methods, it'll work just fine.